Hey there, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Joe, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a level test. So I'm going to ask you some questions about your English, and if you answer honestly, then you can have some idea of what level you are. What level are your English abilities? Are you fluent or close to fluent? Are you on the way there? Right? This test will answer that. All right? So you got to watch the whole video, and while I'm asking these questions, I want you to answer the questions with a score from 0 to 10. 0 means that's not true about me at all. 0% true. 10 means it's 100% true. It's absolutely true all the time. Just give yourself an honest score. Then you'll know what your level is. All right? Also, if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, hi there. My name is Joe. I teach English to foreign students at a university in Canada. And if you want to improve your English and learn more about grammar and vocabulary, you should subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell down below. All right? So let's get started on the questions. So remember, I have 10 questions I'm going to ask you. For each one, I want you to think carefully and give yourself a score from 0 to 10. 0 means it's not true about me. I never do that. That never happens. 10 means that's absolutely true. Perfect. I always do that. That always happens. All right? Here we go. Here's question number 1. I don't have to translate things into my language. I don't have to translate things into my language. Now, give yourself a score from 0 to 10. 0 means that's not true. I always have to translate. 10 means, I don't know, maybe I have to translate. 10 means, no, I never translate. But if you're in the middle, give yourself a score. Try to be as honest as you can. Okay? Let's go on to number 2. I make very few mistakes, and when I do, I catch and fix them. I make very few mistakes, and when I do, I catch and fix them. So this means you make very few grammar mistakes, and if you ever do, your listening is good enough, and you catch it and you fix it right away. So what's your score? Are you a 0? You make lots of mistakes, not very few? Or is it true, 10, you do make very few mistakes? Give yourself a score, okay? And now let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3, I use a wide variety of phrases and English. I use a wide variety of phrases and English. So that means you use lots of different vocabulary, lots of different phrases. You know them. You know how to use them. Give yourself a score from 0 to 10 on that. What's an honest score that you would give yourself on the English that you use? All right? Number 4. I can talk about very technical things in business and at work. I can talk about very technical things in business and at work. Okay? So that means if you have a job or you have a major in university, your English is good enough to talk about that subject very well. So give yourself a score from 0 to 10 on that. How well can you talk business or work or in your field, in your major? All right? Let's go on down to question number 5. We're halfway. I know and use all of the tenses in English easily. I know and use all of the tenses in English easily. Okay, so you know there's lots of different tenses. You know, simple present, simple past, the perfect tenses, the continuous tenses, lots of different things. So give yourself a score. Give yourself a score from 0 to 10. How true is it that you know all of them and you can use them all easily? All right, from 0 to 10. Okay? All right, moving on to question number 6 now. Number 6, native speakers and ESL learners have said my English is great. Native speakers and ESL learners have said my English is great. All right, now this one is a little harder question because sometimes people are polite and they say that to you, but that's not what we're looking for. Has anyone genuinely said to you, hey, your English is great? Does that happen a lot? So give yourself a score from 0, well, that never happens, to 10, yeah, that always happens. People are very impressed with my English, okay? So when I lived in South Korea, people used to say, oh, Joe, you're very good at Korean. And that wasn't the truth. I knew about 50 words. So be honest with yourself and talk about the genuine times when people say, all right? Give yourself a score. Let's go on to number 7 now. Number 7. I understand humor and jokes in English. I understand humor and jokes in English. Okay? So when you're in a group of people, or maybe if you're watching a TV show or something and you hear a joke or somebody's joking about something or telling a funny story, do you understand it? Do you always get the jokes? Or do you think, what's it mean? Or I don't understand that at all. So you have to give yourself an honest score on do you understand jokes and humor. So 0 means I never understand it. 10 means I always understand it. Give yourself a score in that range. Give yourself an honest score, okay? 0 to 10. The next one is number 8. Here we go. I don't get stuck in English looking for a word, or I can get myself around such problems. I don't get stuck in English looking for a word, or I can get myself around such problems. So this happens a lot with English learners. Sometimes you're trying to say something or tell a story or talk about something and you can't remember a word. So you're how do you say? And it kind of ruins the story. It stops you. So does that happen to you? You can't think of the proper word to say in English? Or if you can't think of the word, can you figure out a way to get around that? Can you explain the word or give a definition of the word you're talking about somehow to survive that situation and you get through it okay? So you got to give yourself a score from 0 to 10. How true is that for you, right? You don't get stuck, or, right, don't get stuck in English. You give yourself a 10. Now that's not true. Give yourself a 0. So somewhere in that range. All right, we're almost finished, everybody. Here's number 9. Number 9, I don't feel nervous when speaking English. I don't feel nervous when speaking English. All right, so sometimes people are nervous. They're worried about making mistakes, so they get a little nervous, a little scared when they're speaking English to people, native speakers or other people. So give yourself a score on that question. Is that true for you, right? You don't feel nervous ever? Give yourself a 10. Great. You're always nervous or you can't even speak to people in English? Then it's a lower score, okay? From 0 to 10, give yourself an honest score on that question. And here we are, the last question. Here we go. Number 10. I can watch and enjoy English movies and TV shows without subtitles. I can watch, excuse me, I can watch and enjoy English movies and TV shows without subtitles. Okay? So, lots of English TV shows and movies online. Can you watch them without subtitles? All right? You got to give yourself a score from 0 to 10. How true is that? Is it always true? or no, it's not true at all. So give yourself a score in that range. Okay? So now you should have, well, if you're watching it live, it's not going to work. But if you watch this video before or after it's uploaded, you've listened to 10 questions, you've given yourself 10 scores. So now you have to add up those numbers. Add those 10 numbers together. It'll give you a score between 0 and 100. If all the answers were 10, 10, 10, then you'll get 100. If all the scores are 0, 0, 0, 0, you'll be 0. Probably you're somewhere in the middle, okay? Now I'm going to tell you what that score means. So this is how you learn what is your level, okay? So if you've added up your score, if your score is between 80 and 100, okay, 80 and above, that means you are fluent or very close to fluent, all right, nearly fluent. Congratulations, you're fantastic at English, all right? You can get a job, you can travel easily, you can even start teaching, okay? 80 to 100, excellent. All right, the next group, if you are between 50 and 80, all right, you are well developed. You still have some work to do to get to fluency, but you're doing great. You are very good at English. You can communicate. People understand you. You're just not probably great yet. You're not where you want to get to yet. Okay? So that's 50 to 80. The next group, 20 to 50. 20 to 50, your score is low, but you're not a beginner. You have worked hard. You have improved your English quite a bit. So you have the basics. You do have a long way to go, but you're on the right track. You're going in the right direction to get to fluency. All right, so keep on trying. So 20 to 50, you still have a lot of work to do. And then the last group, 0 to 20. 0 to 20, well, your English is not very good at all. I'm sorry. But you might have been not being totally honest with your answers. Sometimes people are too modest, because if you can listen to this video and understand what I'm saying, then maybe your scores aren't 0 to 2, all right? Maybe do it again and get yourself a proper score. Anyway, so you got your score and you have your individual scores. So now what can you do with this score? It tells you where you are now. When you do this test again, say in 2 months or 1 month or 3 months, you're going to have different scores, I hope, if you keep practicing, so you can see how much you've moved up. Also, the 10 individual scores, they show what are you good at and what are you not so good at. So the stuff that you're not good at, you can concentrate on that and improve that. Okay? All right. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below and I'll write back to you. And if you check in the notes underneath the video, you'll see lots of links to learning opportunities. Opportunities to improve all these different skills that I talked about on this test. All right. And if you want to keep watching videos and practice right now, you can check out the videos that are linking up right here. Okay? All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.